What's going on, guys? It's part 3 of our 3-day toy trip to Melbourne, Australia. Along with me, with fellow collectors Scott Crusher and my dad, as we try to find some cool items to add into our collection. Got all 4 knockoff turtles here, turtle fighters.
Oh no, we've been looking forward to it.
Something cool about these, top of the heads have pentagrams embossed in them.
Oh yeah, I have heard that.
Yeah, have a look.
And this is it.
Bloody hilarious.
Wow. Yeah, it's probably hard to see, guys, but on the top of each of the turtles there's like a pentagram that's stuck to them. Love it. Got an OG Turbo Man here. Man, you never see these things. You always see the re-release Funkos, but look at that. So guys, this was the day that I probably had the most fun. Caulfield Racecourse, the giant size vintage and modern toy fair. We were there nice and early in the early bird line, and once we got into the show, it was just amazing. So let's have a look at what the toy fair had to offer. Got a bunch of motu here, whole bunch of weapons. Oh, look. The thing is, I already have that one.
I want to do this stuff justice in it.
I have that one. Might have to grab one of these. With some turtle weapons. Nothing on these, another little lot. Not much on there, but let's have a quick look. Over here. Sticker sheet. That Turtle Trooper sticker sheet. Guys, unlike the last 2 days, I wanted to pick up a whole bunch of stuff. Loose tubs, loose action figures, that's my jam. So I went a little bit crazy, but hell, I was in Melbourne, it was the last day and I wanted to have some fun. So the first pickup I find on the table, I scoop up straight away. Pretty much everything I bought, I got some sort of discount. So I was pretty impressed that the sellers were able to negotiate, even if it was $5, sometimes $10, which was really good. But anything helps out as you're making your way through the fair and trying to save a little bit of money to get to the other side. But the first thing I got was this bootleg Street Shark, the Mighty Mannix Street Shark. So this is the representation of the hammerhead shark, which would be Jab in the actual line. I love these things. I now have 3 of them, so I'm only on the hunt for the last one, which is the Ripster version, the Great White Shark. But you just see the beautiful He-Man inspired muscly body of the 90s, and then just plonking a shark head on top. So really excited to pick him up. That was my first pickup. Grab him, done, in the bag. Let's keep going. As I'm making my way around the toy show, I find this vendor that's selling a whole bunch of vintage and modern turtle stuff, and I just had to pick up this vintage binocular set. So vintage turtle binoculars in the classic turtle colors with just a sticker slapped on. Gotta love that. And then you've got your compass, which I can't seem to get to work properly. It does something, but it definitely doesn't point north. So I just thought, how cool is that? That's coming home with me. So guys, I'm walking around, I'm looking at this table, and it's got all this loose figures and loose Star Wars figures there, and I just find this little section full of all these clone troopers, and the guy's got $5 on them, and I'm like, would you do a better deal if I pick up a couple? And he's like, yeah, I'd do a couple of bucks off. I'm like, sweet. I'm like, what would you do if I just take them all? And he's like, well, awesome, I'll give you an even better price. So that's what I did. I just took them all, because you can't have enough clones for your display, for your army building. So got a bunch of these Evo Imperial pilots, so I thought they were really cool. What I get, 5 of those guys, and then I got these I don't remember his name, but the Phase 3 clone troopers. Someone in the comments could tell me what the red symbol there means, but I picked up another 4 of them, so a whole bunch of Star Wars figures for, I think it came down to about $2 each, so I was pretty happy to just chuck them in my bag. So guys, what we all like to see is a giant tub of vintage turtles. Let's see if we can find something we don't have. Oh, so you can see they got the little talking turtles with the pull string in there. It's actually like it's a part I don't have. Looks like I have all those. Got another tub of Star Wars here. Sort of the modern. That's how good these Star Wars figures are. $2, guys. Background characters. So guys, a toy line I never see. I'm pretty sure that is Fasco. So check her out. One of the lines I wanted to look for when I went to Melbourne is a line that doesn't pop up much here in Sydney, and that is Battle Beasts. And I was pretty stoked to find 4 Battle Beasts to add in the collection. So the hair-raising rabbit was the first one that I found at a table. Came with this little heat square, but unfortunately that doesn't work anymore, and that seems to be a common occurrence with these Battle Beasts. No weapons on these guys. The other ones I haven't actually looked up their names yet, so I'll pop up their names on screen as we go through, but these are just absolutely incredible little figures. And I had about 4 of these when I was a kid. I used to play with them at school. I used to play with them inside my pencil case, so the teachers wouldn't see and take it off me. So I've decided 2025 is the year for me to start collecting a few of the Battle Beasts. So I think that pushes us up to about 10 now, none with weapons, but hey, the figures are the cool part, so I'm gonna keep hunting. Pick up this Nightmare Before Christmas for Sarah. I bet you Lincoln and Sarah can have a nice little cuddle. Love you, babe. But I'll also get this X-Files little card set just to go in the collection. So guys, there was this insane stall full of modern Star Wars figures, and we're talking 30th anniversary Star Wars figures, and that's a line that I'm very passionate for because it has a lot of creature and different characters that have never been released before, and they're probably never going to release them again. They are getting up in price, so I did pay quite good money for these, not eBay money because I wouldn't do that, but I was still paying a little bit up. Even with the discount, I felt that it was a great bargain. So as you can see here, there was a whole bunch of them. I picked up the Emperor's Shadow Guard, which is just a fantastic black representation of the Royal Guard. I picked up Mono, which is the Jedi Wolf, and his counterpart, I'm probably butchering the name again, Rodan. They were both from the 2D animated movie that came out, little series that came out. And then you can see there was a few vintage collection figures that I added into the collection. Oh, cool. You got a VHS. This would be from the video store, the Ewoks cartoon. One last Star Wars item that I picked up on my second trip around was this cool Star Wars Ewoks Volume 2 VHS tape. So the Ewoks cartoon series from the 80s. I thought, yeah, why not pick up a VHS tape of that? That's pretty awesome. On my first day at Lobo's, I picked up a couple of Leonard Corpse figures, and I was lucky enough to find one more. And I knew that I had this guy and he was all broken at home, and I thought, yep, I'm gonna grab him because I know his arms are good. This one does have a broken finger, so I am gonna swap it out and have a nice clean representation of him. So another one down. I think that's three left to go to complete the whole series that I want of these figures. Following that, and I was gifted by my dad something he found, and this was one of the card backs for the corpse figures from Leonard Toys, and this is for Croc. So I was pretty happy to get that off Dad. He found that while he was walking around looking around at everything. So really cool card back, shows you a few of the characters that came out in the line back in the 90s. So thanks Dad for picking that up for me. During the day, Scott comes up to me and says, I found a table that's selling Mighty Max playsets and they're complete and at a really, really good price. So I thought to myself, yeah, all right, I'll go have a look. It's not a line that I collect, but a line that I've always admired from watching Scott pick up so many of these playsets throughout the years. So I go up to the table and there's a playset there that really stands out to me, and it's the Series 2 Doom Zone Outwits Cyclops playset. Now, this was only $30 complete. And I just said, yeah, okay, I have to pick up one of these. I probably should have picked up two at those prices, but I just thought to myself, why not? We're in Melbourne, let's start a new line. I know they're difficult and expensive, so just let's have one in the collection for representation. But this one's really cool. So the mouth opens and the top comes up, showing the big gruesome eyeball, which you can pull out. You've got the cage, and his little bad guy is in there. And then I was looking in and I noticed Mighty Max is in there. He comes out, there he is. There's Mighty Max, but I don't think that was the Mighty Max that came with the playset. So I kept looking and I found inside this little thing, there's another Mighty Max in there. So two Mighty Maxes, the eyeball, the bad guy, and the cage, which does come out. All that, $30. Didn't even barter, didn't need to. That was too good of a price to say no. So one complete Mighty Max from Series 2 in the collection. And there's the new line that I knew I would start one in Melbourne. One of the most enjoyable parts of any toy fair is just catching up with people that like the same hobby as we. So fellow YouTuber, Simple Simon, we ran into him, had a quick chat. He even interviewed us as out-of-state toy hunters for his channel. So go over, I'll put a link to that episode in the description below. Check him out. He puts out a load of content, and he puts out his toy fair video was out in like 3 days. So it blew my mind how he was able to edit that, but it was very impressive. So it was really good meeting you, Simon. So as any toy fair goes, it's not just about toys, it's also about meeting people and just getting to know people in the community that have a passion for this as well, if it's collectors or if it's sellers. So a booth that was selling there was Toy Box Collectables 2.0. Those guys usually run a booth at Penrith and Campbelltown stores. This time Rod was manning the table in the Melbourne convention, and Tubbsy and Ian were also there. So we got to have a good chat and laugh with both of those. I even had a really good chat with Tubbsy on the side. So guys, look what I found. Tubbsy from Toy Box Collectables 2.0. I can't even leave my own state without running into another legend. So, yeah. How you going? Find anything good?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I found still the century. Premium format Indiana Jones pick up. Looking for ages. So really good price. Very happy with it.
Very nice score.
No idea how I'm getting it home. We'll work that out.
Nice. Loving the convention?
Sorry?
Loving the convention?
Really good actually. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it so far. Lots to see. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. It's actually amazing. Really loving this convention. So let's go toy hunt again.
That's it.
See you guys.
All right.
They even introduced me to a few other collectors who I knew about but haven't met in person. So Shane Gould, who runs the Facebook auction page Misfits, he was there, and just a whole bunch of other people were there. It was really cool catching up with those guys outside our normal Penrith Collecticon. I ran into Joel again, so we had a good chat. He showed me some of his cool pickups, which I remember he had this really cool 1995 Godzilla movie figure still on card, so that was really cool to see. We just had a chat about how our day was going, so it was really good to see you, buddy. We ran into Simon again, who we were hanging with on Saturday night, and Lee was there, who we were hanging with on Friday night. So the group all sort of came together at the end of the day on Sunday, just to swap stories and catch up a little bit, show a few of the pickups that we had found for the day. But the one thing I do want to say, and I want to give a shout out to Lee especially, is on Friday night before he left, he said, I've got some superpowers I might be able to help you guys out with. And Lee brought them to the convention. So all weekend, I sort of looked away from the superpower cabinets as I was hunting, thinking, okay, Lee's going to bring it, probably going to get a better representation of the figure, and man, was I right. So we're over in the corner, we've set up on this wheelie bin to do this little side hustle toy deal, And Lee says to us, these superpower figures are they're my secondary ones. I've already got them all complete and in nice condition. And if these are your secondary ones, Lee, wow, because these things are incredible condition. So Batman is the figure that I was hunting for in Melbourne. Lee knew that, so he brought in his secondary Batman, which is in fantastic condition. Again, there's one little mark on his chest there. That's it. The rest of the figure is absolutely fantastic. His cape's all there, beautiful. So shiny, so clean. So a great deal was made over the hover of this wheelie bin, this garbage bin. But I was super pumped to pick that up from you, Lee. So thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. With that superpowers, I couldn't go home with just one. So on a table on my way out, I found Darkseid, just loose. He doesn't have his accessory with the axe, but I thought, hell, why not? That was only $15, so that was coming home with me. So I met the guys who run Super Toy Hunter Collectables, and they showed us this really cool fan-made book, which was all about bootlegs from like Brazil and Argentina and that sort of area in the world. This book was amazing, just going through all these different stories of how bootlegs were made back in the day for all those really good lines that we love. So I just remember having this interaction with a gentleman who was looking at a vintage Anamana Man, and I'm filming it, and this thing was only $200 with its accessory. Doesn't have the coin there, but for that price, if you know that you're last 17 in Star Wars, that was a really good price. So his name was Matty, and he was sort of just waiting for me to stop filming before grabbing it, and I just said to him, I'd grab that if I was you, because that's a really good price. So it was cool just to have a quick chat with you, mate. What an amazing toy fair, guys. I would highly recommend anyone who lives in the area, or if you're from out of state, make the travel down to one of these really big toy fairs. I think they have 2 each year. It was just jam-packed, and I loved that the toy fair focused on vintage toys and modern toys. So it was just an array of different vendors. I got to meet so many different vendors. I got to meet a whole bunch of other YouTubers and just subscribers and people that just came up and said hi to me. I really appreciate your support. It really makes filming and creating all these worthwhile. So I really do appreciate that. The toy fair was amazing. The toy fair blew my mind, and like I said at the start, it was my most enjoyable day out of all of them. They all had their own highlights, but I just really enjoyed the atmosphere that we had at the toy fair. But that didn't mean that we were finished on our travels. So it was mid-afternoon, and my dad wanted to go to a place that he had been looking forward to, and that was the, get it right, Train World. And this is their little card. If you don't know, it's like a little boarding pass back in the day where you'd give your ticket to the train guy or on the bus or something like that. So Train World in Brighton was our next stop, and that was enjoyable to see not only my dad in his element with all the model trains, but also to see Scotty experience what looked to be his first train store adventure. And I know Scott was quite interested in the train that had the Toys R Us logo across the side, but we were unable to convince him to buy one. So here's just a quick bit of footage or photo of my dad's little haul from Train World. So to finish off our Sunday, the boys and I head back to Chinatown to grab another beautiful Chinese feast. This time we had a few more beers, and then just went into the night, stopping at pubs along the way back to our hotel room before packing our bags, watching some YouTube, having a few more beers, and getting a good night's sleep before we were up and off to the airport. So what an amazing experience, guys. 3 days of toy hunting. You could do that yourself, but doing it with a couple of mates and doing it with my dad really just made it that much more of an experience. Meeting up with so many like-minded people in the community, I thought was just a blast. It's something that you see YouTubers in Europe and America, they get to do quite a lot, but in Australia we're so spaced out. It does take a lot of organization to make these trips happen. So I really loved this adventure. Just want to say thank you to Scotty for everything that he did to make this adventure worthwhile, and also thanks to my dad for coming along, being the cameraman every now and then for me, having a good laugh, and just yeah, also buying the second plane ticket on the Friday morning that we needed after missing our flight. So really appreciate that, Dad. Had an amazing time, guys. So thank you to everyone that's watched this little 3-part series. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Especially leave a comment so we can chat and get to know more people in the community. Subscribe if you're not. Until next time, guys, and our next big adventure, I hope you all stay well, and happy hunting, everyone.